Hi everyone, this is Philip Yuan from Shanghai. As usual, welcome to tonight's session. I hope everyone had a great week so far. I will do a quick introduction on the year's Digital Future workshops and events. And new, maybe you can complete later on. And to better know about the workshop in different regions and time zones across the world, we also decided to let your regional manager to explain and make a demonstration of what they would be interesting and attractive to the students in their respective time zones. I'm now kick off the conversation. And last year, we launched Digital Futures World. We call upon a number of leading architects and instructors across the globe to come together in a spirit of solidarity to offer the series of virtual workshops available for the free students across the globe. The result was an outstanding success. Well, the year, as we covered in our previous session, Digital Future 2021, inclusive futures will be the topic we set up again to an entirely free festival of events that will bring together some of the most talented architects and educators around the world for the latest ever collaborative of the computational design and robotic fabrication, artificial intelligence, and so on. Okay, welcome back. And probably Neil, if you would like to give some compliments on this year. Neil, are you here?
Yes, Philip, thank you. Thank you. Welcome, everyone. For Philip, it's in the evening in Shanghai. For myself in Los Angeles, California, it's the morning. But welcome wherever you are. So yes, just to follow up from what Philip was saying, we are, in a sense, building upon the success of last year. We had 12,000 applications for last year's a series of workshops. And this year, we are trying to expand it to make the reach, our outreach, even more extensive. We now have already over 100 workshops, and there are still a few workshops that are about to be to come in. Actually, as a result of that, one thing I should say very early on is that we have having to postpone the deadline for applications by 1 week until the 7th of June. That's simply because we've got people, even more people wanting to do workshops, which is a very encouraging sign. So we first of all we will be extending the deadline for the workshops. But this year, what we're also trying to do is to have the workshops in many different languages. I think we have 12 different languages that are happening this year. Not only English, but also Chinese, obviously Spanish, Portuguese, but also Farsi, Indonesian, Bangla, Arabic, and so on, which is really part of being inclusive. Most of the workshops last year were all in English, but the world speaks other languages. So we are opening up and introducing a whole series of workshops in other languages this year. We've welcomed a number of new regional managers into our group who have been looking after areas. Importantly, Ahmed is looking after Africa. We have Maria looking after Russia. We have Aya looking after the Middle East, and so on. We have built up, in a sense, the range of which we're dealing with, and we've built up also the number of workshops. And behind all this is the real, what is the driver behind this is the idea of providing ideas for free all over the world. This is something that Philip and I have been pushing since the very beginning of Digital Futures. In 2011, the workshops were all free, and they continue to be so. And the reason why we do this is basically because not everyone around the world has access to sort of the education that we normally have. Maybe, Virginia, I could ask if you could put the video in the background. We wanted to basically do our main agenda then is to introduce educational ideas for free to everyone around the world. Importantly, this year also we are introducing a series of lectures of doctoral. We call it Digital Consortium, which is a doctoral platform for students all over the world, and we're actually taking that out of the main series. Last year, it was many different things all happening at once. There were a series of talks going on while the workshops are going on. This year, we're just having essentially workshops during the workshop period. Of course, some of them are going to be theory workshops, but others will be most of them will be kind of design workshops. So we're going to take the theory lectures out and have them earlier on. Those theory lectures will be happening from the 12th of June until the 24th of June. I will talk more about them in detail later on at the end of the session. But importantly, what I want to stress here is that these are separate in many ways, in the sense that you can also apply for these on top of your workshop, and there's no limit to the lectures you can apply for. So you can apply for both workshops and lectures. It won't be held against you. So that's a new thing that's happening this year. So we're opening up and expanding to go way beyond what we were looking at last year, and we're hoping to also build upon this for the future. As you know, we established the platform as a permanent platform for in Digital Futures World, and every Saturday have been broadcasting educational sessions. This is just the beginning, and we're planning to do much more in the future. The idea today is to really give you a sense of both the kind of international flavor and quality of what we're dealing with by introducing our regional managers to say more about the particular workshops, and we're also inviting a number of individuals to talk about their particular workshops, so that you get more of an understanding about what is available. So what we'll be doing today then is we'll be going through the regional managers. Will be talking about the sort of areas, and then towards the end, I'm going to be talking about the lecture series and giving you further details on what has been planned for that. But essentially, what's happening this year, we're expanding upon and building upon the success of last year. We're introducing many different sort of languages. We're introducing a bigger range of workshops, and we're going to be introducing what we call the Digital Consortium, which is a series of lectures which will be happening 2 weeks before the main series begins. So at this point, I'm going to hand over to the regional managers and maybe ask Virginia to introduce them one by one. So I'll be back later on to talk about the Digital Consortium.
Great. Yeah, Virginia, please.
Yes. Do we have a video from Chinese workshop?
Chao has it, but
Chao is not here.
Show it at the end.
Yes,
Okay.
maybe briefly I can introduce the hybrid workshops. Maybe the
Yes,
video,
please.
because Chao is here, I can say something about the hybrid workshops. This year, I think besides the form of the online workshops, lectures, and long distance communication, will also be a few hybrid workshops with fabrication taking place in Shanghai. That means we would have groups of students in certain workshop completing their assignments online, and the other groups of students will be able to participate in the real fabrication scenarios and witness a sort of a process that make design into practice. Then you would like to know what we're organizing the hybrid workshop right now, and we are offering several of them. Myself and my team at Tongji University would provide 2 hybrid workshops. One is team up with Professor Philip Brock, researching group from ETH, and leading a workshop to develop a construction system for corrugate concrete shell structure using knitted formwork. And that is actually based on the collaborative research between ETH and Tongji University, because we would like to construct a huge structure in the near future in the real scenario. This is just like a study mock-up for that big structure. And that is a two layers system. One is probably self-supported and formation based on the corrugated concrete shell by the knitting form. And the second layer will be in other material. So probably the scenario to make that research is we want to make a small bridge in Tongji campus. And the team is right now doing some pre-research work recently, and hopefully this physical, the hybrid workshop will be set up very soon. Another one is my team is actually collaborating with Professor Akimangas, forming a workshop which is exploring comprehensive catalogs of design possibilities that arise from the proposed design methods and construction process. The fabrication team will be tasked a full-scale demonstrator at Tongji campus, and which is discrete concrete system, and will be fabricated by in situ robotics. And we are doing some pre-research right now by the team of ICD and Tongji University. So that is the two hybrid workshops we're doing. Make some preparing right now, and hopefully students, if you like to participate, it could be either if you're in Shanghai mainland, and you can participate, apply to participate and offline fabricating process. If you're not here, you can apply for the online position. We want to open the research process to the online students if you're participants, if you're interested in these two workshops. We also have some other hybrid workshops with instructors from different time zones. For example, Roland Stoke from RMIT, who would like to lead a workshop on the tectonic formation, because recently he actually set up robotic tectonic lab in RMIT. And furthermore, Professor Machia, who is also from RMIT, who will team up with Nick, and they want to collaborate with China Construction Group, which is the largest construction company in the world. They want to lead a workshop covering the intelligent form as a topic, and which is approach to generate architecture design. And probably they will have several robotics to fabricate to 3D print a formwork, and then to spray different high performance concrete on it to make intelligent form in a very short time. So we are looking forward if you're interested, you can see the proposal. We are looking forward that project will be also attract the students from not only China, but also Australia as well. And meanwhile, I have another hybrid workshop, which will be taught by Liu Yige, who is a postdoctor working right now in Southeast China University, and who will team up with Virginia here. And both of them are the expertise, especially make research on the knitting knitted structures. And Yige used to be my PhD, and she actually already participate 2 workshops in the past 2 years. And Virginia is here. She actually right now makes a lot of very interesting structure system, which engage to the knitted system. And we're looking forward they can make a really interesting project. And they also want to fabricate a special pavilion in Shanghai during the workshop. Till now, we have around 10 hybrid workshops in total. If you're interested in that, welcome to participate in any of these hybrid workshops. But you should remember to register on the website, and sooner or possibly click apply button. That is very simple, and participate these hybrid workshops. And we should also next maybe to invite all the regional managers, all of them are here to introduce from different time zones one by one to present the highlights of their respective region. So maybe firstly, we should start from Asian Pacific. Is Chao coming?
Yeah, Chao is here now.
Chao is on.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Sorry about my internet. I have trouble to log in, but I'm here now. Okay. Well, just following what Philip said about the hybrid workshops, we also have many kind of online workshops for those who may not have, may still have the difficulties in traveling. And the topic is really kind of diversified and covers most of the cutting edge techniques in architecture right now. For example, we have workshops by X School on AI design. We also have workshops run by Metro Data Techniques, who is exploring big data driven urban simulation. We also invite Skylo from HIT Shenzhen to teach how VR techniques could kind of expand or augment our design capabilities. And we also have like Satoru's from Japan bring us his most recent developments on generative processing with his own developed library called IGEO. I think Satoru is really great. And when I was studying at the SAC, he is one of the tutors in my coding class, and I really could learn a lot from him. So I believe you also have could have learned a lot from his workshop. So please check it. As a demonstration, we have X today here, and I can just play her video and to show what her workshops can teach. So here's the video. Let me just play it.
Every citizen's mind when they leave and workshop is to introduce the use of artificial intelligence, especially the use of generative adversarial network in urban growth analysis. Based on data collected from sites and satellites, the method could restore the historical feature of the landscape, as well as predict the future urban development style in specific area. Through the process, participants could acquire basic programming knowledge and understand how machine learning integrates with design process in real design industry scenes. All of our three mentors are from X School Technology. They are AI engineer Shi He Wang, architecture researcher Wen Li, and they are all focused on the research area
We
Charles'
apologize for the
connection.
technical difficulties
Yeah.
there.
Charles' connection is not really good. Virginia, do you have the video?
I think Neil has the video. Neil, could you please play the video for us?
Yes, hold on a second. Let me just share my screen.
Thank you.
今年小库的 workshop 主题是 What happened to the urban plot？ 即随着城市发展。
Neil, we can hear the video, but what we see is your WeChat.
Oh, I see. Okay, my apologies. Let me just stop sharing that.
Internet bad today. Totally logged out. I can continue.
Charles, your connection is not very
not
good
good
right now.
Yeah, let me just try one more time to go and share that.
Okay. I'm really sorry about that. Yeah.
Okay, let me actually maybe you can come back to this in a moment, Virginia, and I'll download it and get it up there. So let's move
Yes,
on.
I think that's fine. We can move on to the next region, which will be going around the world to Indian region, which some of you who have seen our team present a few weeks ago, you may be well known about who Ripple is, but Ripple, we'd love you to introduce yourself again to the audience and introduce some of the workshops and one of the instructors that you invited here with us today.
First of all, namaste everyone and hello. As everyone, like I'm the regional manager of India and Bangladesh for Digital Futures, and I'm an architect, an entrepreneur based in India. I'm also a researcher at NMIMS University. It's been a week since we have published our workshops, and I could see a lot of students from India quite interested in varieties of the workshops that Digital Futures are offering at this moment, and they are very much interested in various topics. Really, some are very much interested in gaming, AR, VR, interactive designs, environmental designs. These are like some of the trending topics in India, also robotics. So I think I'm hoping to get a lot of response as we go ahead in this time, and I'm sure like a lot of Indians would join in for our Digital Futures event this year. I would also like to take this opportunity, and I would like to introduce Bhavleen and Sujay, who would be a part of Digital Futures this year, and who would be our instructors for one of their workshops. So I would just like to like them to speak about it and give an introduction about their workshop and about themselves. Yeah.
Okay. Hi everyone. Thanks Ripple for the introduction, and thanks Neil and Philippe for the opportunity. I'll just like to share something. Yeah. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we see Photoshop.
Yeah. Now?
It's still Photoshop.
I have no idea. I'm sorry, just can you just stop the sharing from your end for me, please?
Yes, it has stopped sharing. You share again?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, thanks. Okay, can you see it now? can you?
Yes, now we can see it.
Thank you. Okay, so I'm here on behalf of Sujoy and me to present our workshop. Machinic craft is basically a workshop born out of the whole larger question of DIY-enabled technology, and more so now with the pandemic, the programmable toolpaths for desktop 3D printers became onto what the work dates and all are. I'd like to inform the students that the workshop would be modules. Each module is designed specifically to cater to students from allied field of design. So we are not restricting students only from architecture background, but students from design field, enthusiastic students with 3D printing understanding, or even a basic understanding of computational tools can join the workshop. The modules will look through various precedent studies, various kind of practices with the PLA printing. One of the interesting facts with the 3D printing on a simple desktop printer is the resolution at which you can play with, and given the constraint of the resolution, there is a lot one can work with. The module 2 will walk the students down through the understanding of computational tools. We'll be using Grasshopper 3D, we'll be using certain plugins and also certain custom workflows to help students understand a little bit better onto the non-standard 3D printing practices also, and contour crafting methods. The third part of the workshop is very interesting, where students would be testing out their toolpaths generated in Grasshopper. And we would also be happy to help students out for the ones who do not have access to maybe a printing lab or do not have an access to 3D printers. We have a set of volunteers here in Mumbai who would be helping us out with any of the 3D printing or the final 3D printing that would be done. And also with us as instructors, we'll be there to help students out. In order to kind of walk students through the process, the workshop has been very carefully crafted out so that there is an exchange between the students and instructors to help them understand various methods of printing, and yet again also kind of contribute into a bit more further understanding of how multiple techniques can inform a new method searching. So giving away
It seems that we have lost connection again. Sorry for the technical difficulties, but I think we'll just move on to the next region then with Aya, who's been representing the Middle East region. Maybe Aya, you want to introduce us to a few of the workshops that are happening in that region. Perhaps you can share some of the web links or something for that to show some images, as well as you'll introduce one of the instructors that you invited today.
Yes, sure. Thank you so much, Virginia. Marhaba, everyone. My name is Aya. I'm DigitalFUTURES Middle East Regional Manager. First of all, I would like to briefly introduce myself. I'm an Egyptian architect and educator. I took my master's from the DRL program at the AA. And currently I am based in Dubai, running my own experimental studio, as well as teaching computational design. I would like to briefly comment about the workshops we have from the region. We have plenty of workshops that cover topics like the future of dwelling, machine learning, interactive design, evolutionary algorithms, robotic fabrication, and artificial intelligence. I'm really proud to announce that the workshops from the region are going to be in various different languages, such as Arabic, Farsi, Turkish, alongside English. So I'm really proud to have the region's kind of diversity be represented this year with us in Inclusive Futures. I would like to also introduce one of our instructors that will be giving 2 workshops in Farsi. That's Mohammed Beju. I would give the floor for him to introduce himself and speak a little bit about his workshops.
Okay, hello everyone. I'm Mohammed Behju. Glad to be here today. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. I'm a computational designer and a researcher. I'm an instructor of 2 workshops at Inclusive Futures event. One of them is about artificial intelligence in architecture, and the other one is about the relationship between nature and computational design and how to implement these principles in architecture. I asked me to talk about my workshops. They are going to be taught in Farsi. Of course, I'm going to speak about them in Farsi from now on. 2 تا ورکشاپ داریم ما. حالا چیزی که از من خواسته شده راجع به این بخوام حرف بزنم اینه که چون که ورکشاپ ها فارسی هستن، قرار منم فارسی حرف بزنم راجع بهشون و اینا رو پروموت کنم و بچه‌ها باهاش آشنا بشن. و کلا این ایونت اینکلوسیو فیوچرز یه ایونت خیلی جهانیه که یک سری از معمارا و ریسرچرها و محققای برجسته رو دور هم جمع کرده و تعداد زیادی ورکشاپ خیلی خوب داره. همه میتونن شرکت کنن، برای همه رایگانه و در نهایت به همه یک سرتیفیکیت داده میشه که تو چه ورکشاپی شرکت کردن و با موفقیت طی کردن. ورکشاپ اول من راجع به معماری و هوش مصنوعی که حالا آرتفیشال اینتلیجنس چیه، ماشین لرنینگ چیه، دیپ لرنینگ چیه و در نهایت هدفمون اینه که بریم سراغ جنراتیو ادورسریال نتورک و اینکه این هدفی که ما داریم اول با شناخت این هوش مصنوعی شروع میشه که اون هوش مصنوعی چیه و رابطه‌اش حالا با اون کلماتی که مثلا ما ماشین لرنینگ و دیپ لرنینگ میشنویم چیه و بتونیم اینا رو تباین بدیم بینشون و یک سری اصول اولیه رو یاد بگیریم، یک سری مفاهیم اولیه رو یاد بگیریم راجع بهش که بتونیم به مراحل بعدی برسیم، بتونیم با حالا نورال نتورک ها کار کنیم که خیلی احتمال ازشون شنیدیم یا CNN کار کنیم، همون کانولوشنال نورال نتورک ها و وارد فاز دیپ لرنینگ بشیم. بعد از اون یکم با ریاضیات قضیه آشنا بشیم، خیلی کم در حدی که ما نیاز داریم و بعدش بریم سراغ همون جنراتیو ادورسریال نتورک ها که بتونیم مثل یک کودک، حالا اگه بخوام مثال بزنم، یک سری دیتا اینا میبینن و این دیتا ها رو یاد میگیرن ازشون یک سری چیزها و بعدش میتونن خودشون دیتا تولید کنن، یک سری دیتا های جدیدی که قبل از اون وجود نداشته، خلاقیت های ویژه‌ای که ما میتونیم از اینا ببینیم. حالا ورکشاپ بعدی من راجع به اینه که ما داریم تو این جهانی که زندگی میکنیم و طبیعتی که ما رو فرا گرفته و ما هم جزئی از اون هستیم، یک سری قوانین داره که ما اگه بتونیم اینا رو بشناسیم و همون چیزای ساده‌ای که دور و برمون هست، خیلی هم نمیخواد حالا پیچیده باشه، این روابط رو بشناسیم و بتونیم اینا رو تو طراحیمون استفاده کنیم به عنوان یک کامپیوتیشنال دیزاینر، به عنوان یک معمار و بتونیم فضاهای بهتری داشته باشیم. قطعاً برای کسایی که بیشتر حالا با گراس‌هاپر یکم آشنان و میخوان چند مرحله برن جلوتر. Of course, I'm going to share my screen. I'm sorry. Can you see my screen? Okay.
Yes.
Actually, we can only see one folder. Maybe you should share the entire screen otherwise.
Can you see the images?
No, now that you
we only
open
see
the
the
image,
thumbnail.
we cannot see the
Oh,
large.
Okay. I'm sorry. Let me try that. Okay. Can you see now?
Yes.
Can you see it?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. Should I speak in Farsi now or English?
I think try English now.
I should speak English.
Yes.
Okay. The purpose of these workshops are going to explore GANs and artificial intelligence in architecture. I'm going to teach some basics at first about artificial intelligence and the difference or the relationship between artificial intelligence and machine learning and deep learning. And after that, we are going through some hands-on sessions and we practice implementing deep learning models like CNNs and other things. The main purpose of my workshop is implementing generative adversarial networks in architecture and how to do this. The first practice, of course, is going to be neural style transfer based on a book by François Chollet, a very well-known person in the field of artificial intelligence. And the main thing we are going to do in this workshop is implementing a cycle GAN, a kind of generative adversarial networks that are doing image transformations on unimpaired image datasets. And my next workshop is going to be the relationship between what we see in nature, what we perceive of nature, and computational design. And it's going to be an intermediate workshop, not a basic, not an advanced one. In 7 days, we are going to practice and experience some computational design principles in Grasshopper. I think I explained them both in Farsi and English. So thank you everyone for all your efforts and enthusiasm. I stop sharing my screen.
Thank you so much, Muhammad. We're really looking forward to these workshops.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Great, thank you. And next we have Ahmed from the Africa region, where he'll be presenting about workshops in Egypt and other parts of Africa.
Yes, thanks, Virginia. Hello, my dear friends, colleagues, and lovely students. I'm Ahmed Hassab, Africa Regional Manager, InclusiveFUTURES 2021, Lecture Assistant at the American University in Cairo, and Senior Architect at Engineering Consultants Group. أصدقائي الأعزاء أبطال اليوم والمستقبل، أنا أحمد حسب من DigitalFUTURES World. I believe that this is the beginning of something great. Something may change the world and its perspective of the education. As Professor Neil mentioned before, education is a human right. It is not a privilege. And you should know that we care so much about you. And this effort aims to include everyone around the globe. It's a call for a change. It's for you to start learning and earning the proper knowledge to build a better future for everyone. أنا أؤمن إن دي مجرد بداية لحاجة عظيمة هتغير العالم ونظرته للتعليم. وزي ما قال أستاذي نيل ليتش، التعليم حق إنساني وليس ميزة للأغنياء. يجب أن تعلم أننا نهتم بك ونبذل الجهد لنحتوي العالم أجمع. دي دعوة للتغيير، دعوة عشان تبدأ تتعلم وتبني المستقبل. This year, DigitalFUTURES managed to include as many workshops as possible in different languages and time zones, with a variety of levels from basic to advanced, from online to hybrid. We managed to facilitate the learning materials for you, and it's your turn now to start and share with everyone willing to learn. هذا العام نجحت DigitalFUTURES في احتواء العديد من الورش بأقصى قدر بالعديد من اللغات، من المستوى الأول إلى المستوى المتقدم. ومن الأونلاين إلى التنفيذ في الموقع. وسرنا توفير المواد التعليمية ليك طبعا، وجاي دورك إنك تبدأ تتعلم وتشارك مع كل الناس. Changing the world isn't an easy challenge, but we started and will never stop. Digital Futures believes in you, so please believe in yourself and start earning by learning. تغيير العالم ليس بالأمر السهل، ولكننا بدأنا ولن نتوقف. Digital Future تؤمن بك، وجاء دورك لتؤمن بنفسك وتبدأ التعلم. We have a variety of workshops. If you have no previous knowledge about digital fabrication and its concepts, or using Rhino and Grasshopper, I'll teach you in my workshop how to learn, how to have a learning path, and how to create organic surfaces from few steps and create a pattern. And my team will offer you the assistance needed forever. And I'll show a few images right now for you about this workshop. It will be a computational design workshop where you will be able to use the software to create surfaces, visualize them, and have a nice outcomes representing your ideas. And it is not just about the beginners. لدينا العديد من مختلف الورش. إذا لم يكن لك خبرة سابقة عن الفابريكيشن أو استخدام راينو وجراسوبر، هعلمك إزاي تتعلم ويعني إيه فابريكيشن، والفريق بتاعي هيقدم لك المساعدة على مدار الورشة وللأبد. Also, we have an amazing workshop about space architecture by Professor Samer Sayari. I'll show you his winning competition with Jacob Bruce Institute. He has a lot of winning competitions, international prizes, and he won more than 50 prizes internationally in the last few years. And he will be teaching a workshop in English in Europe and Middle East time zone. And this is a few glimpses on what he will be teaching you in the workshop about space and these harsh environments. And after this, last but not least, we have a hybrid workshop from the American University in Cairo. And this will be the first hybrid workshop in Egypt by Digital Futures. This workshop will be in the Egypt and Middle East time zone, and it will be happening by the American University in Cairo, where you will learn how to design, simulate the 3D metal printing process in phase 1, and after that, phase 2 will be on site in the 5th settlement in the university campus. So if you are dreaming to use real robots and do experimentation, it's your time now. I'll show you a video of their research outcomes. I believe you will like it. And this is our robotics lab in the American University in Cairo. And we used to do workshops on a real-time research. So this is our current research on 3D metal printing, and our team will be doing the workshop. My Professor Sharif Murad and Omar Gnedi and Professor Hana and the other colleagues. So I'm happy to see you at the American University in Cairo, and welcome to Digital Futures World. تحياتي الطيبة لكم جميعا من القاهرة. Thanks.
Great, thank you, Ahmed. Next, moving around the world, we have Maria from Russia, who will be introducing some of the Eastern European workshops and 2 of the workshop instructors that she has invited here today.
Hello. Yeah, now you can see me. Hello, everyone. I'm very glad to see you all. And thank you for introduction. So I'm, yeah, just 1 second. I'm glad to introduce you some work. I'm really sorry for the bit of the noise at the background. I'm glad to introduce you some of the work that we will be doing from the Russian side. And first of all, I would like to introduce SA Lab, Stepan and Alina, who are here with us online, and they will introduce 2 workshops that they will be organizing in Russian and English languages a bit later. But besides Stepan and Alina, we have an amazing team who is, for example, touching a lot of questions like artificial intelligence or hybrid matter or the hybrid realities. Some of the workshops, for example, organized by DigitalFUTURES team will be run in Russian, and they will be questioning the biological intelligence through the hybrid tools, through the digital tools, and investigating how can we perceive and extract the information from the biological intelligence and translate it through the digital means to the virtual reality. Art and Science at MO team will also run several biological and digital experiments in order to study the hybrid matter, which is formed at the biological and digital. We will have Ephemera One studio experimenting with the storytelling in the virtual space and designing new rooms in the Mozilla hubs where participants will be able to create their own series of scenarios. Myself, with Artem Konevsky, and we will have also guest visitor Claudia Pasquero, we will be introducing a workshop on the artificial intelligence, where we'll be analyzing a large data sets of the biological matter and the landscape matter, and through the machine learning in order to create a new design technique which would be used in the design. We have another amazing workshop by Katya Briskina and Natalie Nemkova from the Intelligent Morphology Lab, and they will co-design with nature, and they will learn from the biological matter to inform the physical structure. Another beautiful workshop run by Eduard Hyman and Katya Larina. Again, we'll be exploring the AI and machine learning in order to design infinite skyscrapers. And basically, they will be preparing, again, the large data sets, implementing it into the architecture field. That's a very maybe fast sum up from my side about the things that we are preparing here in Russia. And now we are very keen on organizing all the materials. And I'm happy to introduce Stepan and Alina with their part, and I will ask you guys to share some materials that you will be running with the guys, both maybe about the workshops in Russian and the workshops in English. And it would be great if you describe the English workshop in English and Russian in Russian. Thank you.
So hello, everyone, and thanks to Maria for a great introduction. My name is Alina, and together with Stepan, we will give 2 workshops, one in Russian and one in English. So the first one is web architecture. Every student will produce a web application to explore an adaptive architecture approach. We will cover the basics of modeling in Blender and coding with JavaScript, HTML, WebGL, and more. In 4 days, we will develop the app, which will work on any device, PC, tablet, or smartphone. This will enable everybody to create different structures from predefined parts, allowing for more inclusivity in the design process. Students don't need any experience in web development to take part in it, so come and join us.
Our second workshop is called Parametric Generative, and we will be experimenting and comparing 2 approaches, parametric and generative, using Rhino and Grasshopper. And it's going to be in Russian, so I will switch to Russian now. Всем добрый день. Наш воркшоп будет называться «Параметрический и генеративный» и будет посвящен анализу и сравнению 2 подходов к параметрическому и генеративному в проектировании. Мы будем знакомиться с Rhino, Grasshopper и таким плагином, как Anemone. Будем экспериментировать с агентным моделированием и создавать параметрическую модель здания и генеративный павильон. Присоединяйтесь к нашему воркшопу, будет интересно. So that's it for the introduction, a very short one, but I guess it was a very interesting and promising one. So thank you, Maria. Thank you, everyone.
Спасибо большое. Thank you very much, guys. That's sharp and very informative, very consistent. I think that's what we will be doing actually in the workshop. So super nice. Thank you very much. And thank you for everyone. And looking forward to start the workshops. You really keen on it. Super.
Yeah, great. Thank you. Next, we have just moving across the world into Europe. Antonio is our regional manager based out of Aarhus. So hello, Antonio, introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone. My name is Antonio Bernanke. I'm here up in Denmark from the Aarhus School of Architecture. In Europe, for Digital Futures World, we're going to have a lot of very different approaches. With Caio from Angewandte, participants will investigate crowd robots behavior. With Vishu, Henry, and Alicia from Zaha Code, instead, they will focus on structural properties and fabrication optimization in timber. With Sean and Sasha of High Heart Blob, they will explore mixed and augmented reality environments. Switching to AI with Angelos, Theodoros, Nidara, Sergio from Austrian Institute of Technology, people with little or no experience in artificial intelligence will be able to apply models of artificial intelligence to urban scale issues. Jumping with Valentina from MIT Media Lab, people will explore the moon and the technologies and knowledge that is applied to architecture in space. On the VR side, there are 3 workshops, one from the University of Innsbruck with Stefan, Dominique, Cenk, and Uwe, that is gonna deep dive into the metaverse of VR chat, organizing public and private events in virtual reality. Then instead, with myself, Alicia, and Oscar, we're gonna modify environments to make them more multi-species based on some narratives included in the exhibition Interspecies Future. With Arek, Vamsi, Teddy, and Stefana of Futurely and Neverlab, instead, participants will question and rethink any type of traditional assets using, like in our workshop, the virtual platform Sansar. With Rachel, Rolf, Maria, Jan, and Esther from Newcastle and KU Leuven, instead, participants will explore through the power of material transformation, the resilience of living realm. Moving on with Pradeep and Sushant of RatLab, people will be able to interact with robots remotely in real time and start with robotic even from remote environments. And with Elif, Milad, and Habinav from the AA, they will explore themes of generative design and material computation, tapping on the research of MTech at the AA. Now, we have here to present now their workshop instead, Sara Kodarin, that is a PhD from the University of Ferrara and currently at Lawrence Technological University, together with Misri Patel, that is an architect and researcher from Mumbai that is currently based at Taubman College, University of Michigan. So Sara and Misri, please share with us about your workshop.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for the great introduction. I'll share my screen. And I'll give the floor to Misri for the introduction.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. My name is Misri Patel, and I'll be co-teaching Robo-Augmented Workshop workflows with Sara Kodarin. So schools of architecture are struggling with a problem during the pandemic of how do we offer access to fabrication in a safe and equitable manner. So starting with this very hypothesis, the workshop aims at introducing immersion digital technologies and understanding tools with a 6-axis robotic arm. The ambition of the workshop is to explore various design methodologies that combine analog and digital ways of making. And I'll have Sara sort of walk you through what we'll be doing through the workshop days.
Thanks. So as Misri mentioned, this is an introductory course to robotic fabrication. We will teach this remotely. And we will use the facilities at LTU, College of Architecture and Design. And we'll help students to build skills in generative design, RoboScripting, digital fabrication, and we will use Grasshopper plugins, KUKA PRC, and only basic knowledge of Grasshopper and Rhino will be required by the students. The workshop is organized in 6 days, 6 short sessions, but very intensive. And we will conduct a workflow that we already tested in our school, in our college. The students will work with instructors to generate digital outcomes and carry out simulations. And then the scripts will be transferred to the facility, to our build lab for implementation. So we will deal with materiality as well, doing this remotely, and to produce proto-architectural forms. And then we will document these objects, these outcomes, and of course they will be available for students' portfolios. And we look at opportunities to scale up the robo fabrication processes as well. And every short assignment will be introduced within a theoretical framework as well, because we would like the students to understand how to manage both cultural and technical instances within these processes.
All right, so we will be hosting the workshop from June 27 to July 2nd, and it very conveniently overlaps with time zones starting from early morning in the US, 7 to 9 a.m., which also overlaps with early afternoon in Europe and late afternoon, early evening with the Indian subcontinent and China. In addition to everything that we just mentioned, the workshop also provides interludes into contemporary research practices that position an architect as both the designer and the maker.
And thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
And it's going to be fun, of course.
Great. And so moving forward, next we have a bunch of workshops in South America, and we actually have our South America regional manager here to introduce them, as well as I believe 2 of the workshops that'll be presenting from there. So welcome, Marina.
Thank you, Virginia. And so great to see Sarah again after her presentation, Digital Futures. So it's great to have you here. And thank you all for being here. All the team that we are working so hard for this, and all the instructors who are working so hard for this. So it's a pleasure to announce that this year we have more than 10 workshops in Spanish, and we also have workshops in Portuguese. And I'm also representing not only South America, but more like Latin America in general, because we also have some workshops from Mexico, for example. So it's really a pleasure to be here and to say, like, for example, the image that I have as a background is one of our workshops, which is in Spanish with the instructor Florencia Espina from the University of Ditela. The workshop is called Aldeas Planetarias. I'm going to switch to Spanish to explain this workshop because it's in Spanish. So Aldeas Planetarias es un taller que se va a centrar en la investigación proyectual de diversas performances geomorfológicas de la corteza terrestre pertenecientes a la cordillera de los Andes que presentan comportamientos arquitectónicos naturales del hábitat. I want to also say that we are going to have a workshop that is coming, a really urgent workshop about Amazonia, led by Ana Maria Duran Callisto, that will be available soon in our website. Which is called Representación, Territorio y Políticas de Identidad en la Amazonia. It's going to be in Spanish, va a ser en español. El taller va a explorar a través de textos e imágenes sintéticas, poéticas y críticas las políticas de identidad y territorio en la Amazonia. Los estudiantes, bajo la guía de invitados amazónicos, se enfrentarán a las herramientas visuales de extractivismo patrocinados por el Estado, el etnoturismo, la cartografía, la antropología, la etnografía, el cine, la fotografía, la literatura y la arquitectura. De esta forma se va a esperar que interroguen críticamente los imaginarios de extracción, la civilización, el progreso, el desarrollo y lo indígena, a través de la creación de alter imágenes de la Amazonia y sus pueblos originarios, cuestionando las relaciones de poder incrustadas en los actos de representación. So this is a Spanish workshops, and we also have some guests from the University of Ditela and the Public University of Buenos Aires. I'm presenting these workshops first because they are a new workshop that we include this year. So this is going to be in Spanish, and it's Super Marcio. Se enfocará en la construcción de modelos computacionales variables utilizando herramientas de modelado y código simple, el Rhino y Grasshopper, con el modelo de explorar la gran cantidad de posibilidades proyectivas de campo Marcio como germen arquitectónico original. This is going to be led by Melissa Brieva and Santiago Miret. So we also have a last workshop in Spanish, led by Eufemia Shinopoulou, Pablo Barquero, Dragos Berescan y Ariel Valenzuela. The workshop title, el título del workshop, será diseño performativo de agentes usando análisis ambiental de estructuras. And we also have this year some important workshops in theory. One of them is going to be in Spanish as well, led by Leonardo Solás, a philosopher from La Plata, the place where I am, in Argentina. Más allá del proyecto para una filosofía del diseño. This is a new and super special workshop. And then we also have a workshop in theory of architecture. One is led by Ana Font and Andrew Pringle from Universidad Torquato di Tella, the University of Torquato di Tella, and it's going to be in English, the lineage of the digital. So in one hand, this workshop will discuss a series of projects from the last 25 years old of digital production. And on the other, they are going to configure assemblages based on the study of their traits of expression operating beyond authorial, institutional, and chronological determinations. So across this constellation, the objective is going to be to identify conflicts, affinities, and redundancies. And they are going to draw a phylum, a series of lines that could be could across them, taking leave one to pick again and another, or making they coexist. I'm sorry about my bilingual presentation, but this is what we have. And then another workshop in theory, led by Cecilia Pellegrini, Santiago Albarracín, and Sigfrido Stiger, also from Universidad Torquato di Tella, is going to be post-occupancy toward a multi-agent cohabitation. We also have another workshop led by Gilfranco Alves and Vinicius Schul from Brazil, designed with nature from a cyber semiotic approach. And let me now to introduce two of our instructors from South America. I'm going to introduce two because we have two languages here. I mean, we have three with English, but we have two languages from South America. So let me introduce first to Marina Borges. Marina Borges is from Brazil. She's a professor of the Department of Architecture and Urbanism from Minas, where she's a member of the research group Design and Digital Fabrication. And she coordinates also the postgraduate course of Parametric Design in Architecture with Professor Hugo Matos, who is part of her team, with also Marcus Vinicius Bernardo. So, benvindo, Marina. Please introduce your workshop, and then I'm going to introduce the next instructor.
Hi, Marina. Thank you for the introduction. Bom dia a todos. Hello, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here with you as part of this amazing event that is Digital Futures nowadays. As Marina said, my name is Marina Borges. I'm professor at PUC Minas in Brazil, where I'm the coordinator of the post-graduation program Parametric Design in Architecture with Professor Hugo Matos, and together with Marcos Vinicius, we will offer the workshop Inteligência Coletiva, Método Paramétrico para a Cocriação Espacial. That means in English, collective intelligence, parametric method for spatial co-creation. And as a meta-inclusive purpose, the workshop will be in Portuguese. And now I'm going to say a few words to encourage especially Brazilian students to participate. A proposta do workshop se fundamenta nos processos de produção espacial auto-organizados para refletir sobre práticas co-criativas de projeto. A partir da temática da inclusão, a nossa premissa ela vai se basear na seguinte questão: Como a tecnologia digital ela pode ser utilizada para mediar a negociação entre diferentes agentes na produção do espaço, a prática a ser realizada ela vai consistir no desenvolvimento de um método de co-criação baseado em inteligência coletiva por meio da construção de um modelo digital paramétrico. O objetivo vai ser permitir a sistematização e a visualização de decisões espaciais, possibilitando a negociação entre agentes e a visualização das decisões por meio de uma solução em conjunto. Now I'm going to show a video to show more about the workshop. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Convidamos a todos a fazerem parte dessa experiência como uma maneira de expandir a aplicação da tecnologia e contribuir com o avanço na investigação sobre os métodos de articulação espacial. Sejam todos bem-vindos. Everybody be welcome. Thank you so much.
So, muito obrigado, Marina. Bem-vinda to Futuros Digitais. And now I'm going to move next to our next instructor from South America. It's a pleasure for me to introduce Shanifer Dudan from Peru. She's going to lead with Giovanna Pillaca Morote, Claudia Garcia Perez, Jose Luis Pidminlia Granada, and Daniel Escobar, a workshop called Memoria y Percepción en la Arquitectura Digital. And it's a pleasure for me to introduce Shanifer and Giovanna, who were students from an amazing Peruvian architect, Juvenal Baraco. It's really a pleasure to have you here. So the place is yours, Shanifer.
Hola. Hi, everyone. I'm going to be switching between Spanish and English. Let me share my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, it's loading. Now.
Okay. Yeah, you can see it?
Yes.
Okay, hi. My name is Shanifer Dudan. I'm with Giovanna Pillaca, Jose Luis Pidminlia, Claudia Garcia, and Daniel Escobar. We are all research. I am here representing all research. This year, in this edition of Digital Futures, we will give a workshop in Spanish, which we have entitled Memory and Perception in Digital Architecture. This workshop will revolve around the speculative design of the basic concept of memory. I'm going to switch to Spanish now. Hola, buenos días. Mi nombre es Shanifer Dudan. Estoy aquí en representación de la Ola Research junto a Joana Pillaca, Daniel Escobar, José Luis Vintimilla y Claudia García. Vamos a dictar este año un workshop titulado Memoria y Percepción en la Arquitectura Digital. We are here with Giovanna. We're teachers, we're entrepreneurs, and we're teachers from architecture and researchers. Nosotros somos profesores de arquitectura, emprendedores y también somos investigadores de arquitectura. I'm going to switch to Spanish because the workshop is in Spanish. En el actual contexto tecnológico, cada vez nos sumergimos más en los entornos virtuales y generando una necesidad mayor de sensibilizar a los usuarios a través de nuevas experiencias en mundos inmersivos, lo cual nos está permitiendo ir más allá de la simple visualización arquitectónica, direccionando el terreno de la percepción a un nivel superior, buscando así el desarrollo de proyectos en base a elementos aparentemente inmateriales. Como resultado, pretendemos transmutar memorias, extrayendo y filtrando componentes en clave para crear objetos tridimensionales con los que se diseñará una experiencia inmersiva. Nosotros nos estamos formulando distintas preguntas para este workshop y están haciendo en base a ¿cuáles son los límites de la percepción humana? ¿Y es posible materializar la percepción de los recuerdos y abstraer sensaciones para volverlas una experiencia inmersiva? Para ello vamos a utilizar distintas herramientas de software computacionales, teniendo como base a rinoceros y grasshopper. También utilizaremos Houdini y ZBrush. Y al final todo se juntará en el software Sansar VR. Los estudiantes presentarán su trabajo en una revisión final, en la que tendremos un link para los mundos virtuales creados. I'm going to switch to English now. So, in the current technological context, we're increasingly immersing ourselves in the virtual worlds, generating a greater need to sensitize users through the new experiences in immersive worlds, which is allowing us to go beyond simple architectural visualization to the immersive experience, directing the field of perception to a higher level, thus seeking the development of projects based in apparently immaterial elements. As a result, we intend to transmute memories, extracting and filtering key components to create three-dimensional objects with which an immersive virtual experience will be designed. These workshops explore the participants the transperception of different levels of reality, and for this we ask ourselves different questions. What are the limits of human perception? Is it possible to materialize the perception of memories and the abstract sensations to make them an immersive experience? For them, we will use tools as Rhinoceros, 3D, Grasshopper, Houdini, and ZBrush and Sansar. As the result of the workshop, immersive experiences will be created, and we are going to base on the concept of the memory. I'm going to switch to Spanish again. Muchas gracias por la oportunidad al equipo de InclusiveFUTURES. Estamos realmente muy emocionados por ser parte de esta iniciativa en incluir un workshop en español sobre temas computacionales y sobre todo sobre experiencias en realidad virtual, ya que todas estas experiencias se han incrementado debido a lo que sucedió el año pasado con la pandemia por COVID-19. We're very happy that we are this year part of the DigitalFUTURES InclusiveFUTURES edition because we're teaching a workshop in Spanish. There are a lot of workshops in Spanish about these topics, and we're very delighted that we can share our VR senses and VR experiences with our future students. Muchas gracias. Thank you so much.
Muchas gracias, Jennifer. Bienvenida.
Muchas gracias.
Great, thank you. So that's what we have for South America. I am technically the regional manager for the East Coast of North America. So I just wanted to share some of the workshops that we have in our region. And you can find these workshops when you go to our Digital Futures workshop page. by clicking on the time zones here, so that if you don't want to take workshops in Asia or Europe, you can just select the North, South America, and oh, I need to refresh my page, but you can click there and see all of the workshops that are happening within this time zone, so you know you won't be asleep during the time that these workshops are occurring. But we have some really great workshops from the East Coast. I highly recommend Philip Beasley's workshop. He is so well known out of Waterloo, Canada. And he will be teaching a workshop that's 5 days long here, called New Veils, Couture and Architecture. And then we have several AI workshops. So we have Intro for AI Design Expectations by Mayor Mystery, and he has really been doing a lot to learn AI and teach AI over the past year. And he is a recent graduate in university here, and you can see a little video clip of what he's doing with GANs and AI here. And then next we have fundamentals of industrial robotic arms. So we've got robotic fabrication as well. And this is actually going to be a physical workshop where George at FIU will actually be working with the robots in the lab. So I highly recommend that you join that. Another GAN workshop, AI to 3D GAN, taught by Matias Del Campo, which many of you know, an amazing instructor, highly recommended workshop there. Materializing Mathematics is from my colleague here at Clemson University, Joseph Choma, where he is going to be working with mathematics and coding to generate geometry and forms of doubly curved surfaces. So highly recommend that if you don't know him. This would be one of the best workshops. Stream link here is ready. More AI workshops, creative AI ecologies, which will be brought to you by one of our team members, Daniel Balajan, who is very helpful, and Manos and Shermeen. And you can see a quick video of what they'll be doing, but they're starting to work on AI and 3D forms, which is really great and exciting. Just a quick GAN stuff here and Pix to Pix. So it'll be a really intriguing workshop that he will be doing as I flip through that quickly. Machine learning for creative purposes, which will be taught by Diego Pinchot out of MIT. And there's no images here, but it's actually going to be really great. You should check our Instagram post because there are some images there about his workshop. You can read all the information, because he's dealing with, you know, machine learning, AR, VR, and robotics all mixed together, which will be really great. Kinescopes, architecture of performative intelligence. This is an interactive design workshop, so you will be able to make things and program things within this workshop. You can see here, this is taught by Mona Gandhi, who spoke at one of our young presentations earlier this year, also out of Washington. And you can see how she uses the human body to do interactive installations. And then also, I will be teaching a workshop that will be in the Chinese time zone, but I just wanted to mention it for everyone that if you are interested in knitting, I know that Philip Yuan had earlier mentioned it, but please consider that as well. And I'm going to pass it over to Gustavo, who will talk about the West Coast workshops.
Hello, everyone. My name is Gustavo Rincon. I'm a recent graduate from UCSB, a Media Arts and Technology program with a PhD. I am currently with the Allosphere Research Group, and pretty much we do revolutionary stuff with 3D and immersive environments. But let me actually share my screen. 1 second. Do you see my screen, Virginia? No. Okay, let's see, share. Do you share my screen?
Yes, I see it now.
Okay, do you see the tabs?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So here's the website. Just wanted to say, here's the website. Please log on. So when you see the website, we're going to the workshops. The first workshop I want to highlight is Beyond the Grid, Interactive Installations with Wacky Topologies. And this will be taught by Banaz Farahi from CSU LB. Our next workshop will be Fundamentals in Industrial Robotic Arms. And this will be taught by Jorge Tubela. Our next workshop will be Domestic Realities, My Living Room is Public. And this will be taught in, look at the images right there, by Yara Fegali from UCLA and my alma mater. Great place. The next workshop is Environmental Information Visualization in Unity. This will be taught by Biana Bogosian, Namju Lee, and Mader Leguno Munixta. Check this one out. Biana is awesome. Our next workshop is Narratives of the Post-Anthropocene. And this one is going to be really cool. Just take a look at that image. It's really nice. And this will be taught by Alexander Webb, School of Architecture of University of New Mexico. Our next workshop is GANs to 2D to 3D, Artificial Intelligence. Look at the great images. And this would be taught by Shane Bougny, Texas A&M, and Gabrielle Esquivel. This is the workshop that I'll be hosting with a few of my colleagues here in Digital Futures world. So conversations at inclusivity. We don't really have an image for it, but it's going to be great. Check it out. I'm actually honored to have Dr. Yoon Chan Han. She's going to be teaching data visualizations in P5JS. If you're interested in data viz or media arts, she has shown all over the world. She is a very exciting and very fun person to take classes with. So check her out. The next workshop is Cnc Output. And I have to say, I have a special place for this one in my heart. This is a former colleague, Dr. Benham Samara from Cal Poly Pomona. He has his own workshop in the desert. If we ever have any issues, he's the guy to build us out of them. He's amazing. And the last workshop today that I want to introduce, and I'm going to introduce our speaker to represent our region, is Augmented Tectonics. It's a fabrication workshop, a physical workshop in 3D. So it's Sumim. Look at some of these great images. I'm really excited to introduce her today, but it's going to be Sumim Ham from SciArc Design and Hinan Pen. So Sumim, take it away.
Thank you very much.
Let me release my screen.
Thank you.
There.
Okay, do you guys see the screen?
Yes.
Yeah. So our workshop, Augmented Tectonics, will explore the construction processes using augmented reality technologies, fabricating steel structure and attaching precisely fabricated pre-concrete panels. The workshop will be led by myself, Sumin Han, Wei Chiu, and Jianan Pang. Our team has a combined background of design, fabrication, and engineering, highly experienced with digital fabrication and design. Participants will be physically producing a one-to-one scale structure in Tongji University campus. To give a glimpse of what will happen in the campus, the videos here are projects pursued with similar concepts, exploring ways of using mixed reality to help designers to physicalize complex geometry that has been excluded for a while in CNC and robotic arm-dominated digital fabrication research. And I was asked by Neil to present in Chinese and Korean because I happen to know how to speak them, so I would switch to Chinese. 我们的 Augmented Tectonics 工作营将探索使用增强现实技术的制造过程。在本次工作营中，我们选择了利用钢结构和喷砂混凝土板的结合构造。我们将利用弯曲及焊接的方式来制造复杂形体的钢结构，并链接精确制作的喷砂混凝土板。工作营将由我贤秀敏、邱维和彭嘉南带领。我们的团队具有设计、制造和工程的综合背景，在数字建造和设计方面经验丰富。参与者将在同济大学校园内实际制作1:1的结构。视频展示的是在相同研究主题下的不同项目。探索使用增强现实来帮助设计师物理化复杂的几何形体。目前很多施工中人为的因素是不可必要的要素，但是目前 CNC 机械臂等主导的数字制造行业中被忽略了很长时间。我们相信我们的工作营利用增强现实技术的研究会给我们带来很多的可能性，探索人与机器的共享生态。I'm gonna switch to Korean. 저의 이번 워크숍은 증강현실 기술을 사용하여 철골 구조를 제작하고 정밀하게 제작된 스프레이 콘크리트 패널을 부착하는 건설 과정을 탐구하는 워크숍입니다. 저희 티칭팀은 설계, 제작 및 엔지니어링의 배경을 가진 디지털 제작과 디자인 경험이 풍부한 팀으로서 참가자들과 함께 온 오프라인으로 교류하며 상해에 위치한 통지대학교 캠퍼스에서 1:1 스케일 구조를 물리적으로 제작할 것입니다. 스크린에서 보신 영상은 이러한 증강현실 기술을 사용하여 복잡한 형태를 다양한 제조로 제작할 수 있는 가능성을 탐구하는 프로젝트들이었습니다. Thank you very much.
Before we move on, I just wanted to say that Sumin's work is amazing. And I've been working in this space now for over 20 years. And it's a dream come through. So if you have a chance to take her workshop, I would say do it right now. But thank you.
Thank you.
Great. So that wraps up our whole trip around the world of workshops. I believe Neil Leach now would like to present some information on the Digital Consortium. And also, Neil, I don't know if you wanted to present your own workshop a little bit here too, because I know you are teaching a workshop, and maybe mention on that note that there are 2 workshops that are large lecture type workshops.
Thank you. Yes, let me maybe, I think we go back in a sense. Yes, but yeah, there's a good opportunity, yes, to show my own workshop. So let's just briefly mention that first of all. So on the workshop pages, can you see this?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So this week, this is the workshop that I'll be teaching, and it's going to be an incredible workshop because we have Sanford Quinter there, and Sanford is his own kind of, he is amazing. One of the most intriguing people here. We have the Muppets on this thing. And I'm also delighted to have Marina Rodriguez-Neves and Victoria Luisa Barbo in the team with us. This actually emerged out of last year's discussion. We had, last year, Sanford, along with Antoine Picon and Marika Trotter and I, produced a workshop together, and Marina and Victoria were both in the audience, and they have now become part of the team, which is going to be a wonderful thing to happen. So we're basically this is, I think, going to be a very interesting workshop for many different sort of reasons. We've got a range of different individuals who are coming in, who've been invited by the members of our team. I should say there are. I need to update this on the day 4, for example. Sophia Crespo will be joining us, and Sophia is one of the most incredible AI artists in the world. And so in our session on AI, art, and neuroscience, and on the day 7, Wolf Prix from Coop Himmelblau and Patrick Schumacher will also be joining us. That is going to be a blockbuster event, but we've also got some really intriguing individuals joining us for the rest of this session. So this is going to be a theory workshop where effectively we're going to be bringing guests in each day and basing it around that. But Sanford is absolutely amazing. Anybody who was following the workshop last year will know that he is the most charismatic individual, I think, in the world of architectural theory, and certainly one of the smartest. Let me just go back and say a few words about the theory workshops as a whole. So the lectures as a whole. So on this box on the left-hand side, if you click on that, you will get to see the Digital Consortium, which is basically a platform that we're establishing this year for the first time for doctoral students around the world. It's not completely limited to doctoral students. Others may apply as well. Effectively, I think those who are interested in the possibility of pursuing doctoral research might find this of interest. There are 4 separate applications forms to be 5 actually for you to enter. Now the important thing is you can subscribe, you can sign up for these in addition to your workshop. Whatever workshops there are, you can sign up for this. There's no limitation. I would say, first of all, let me just skip out of this and go and show. So we have. The first one is just simply the inaugural lecture by Slavoj Žižek. I'll talk about that later. One is architectural philosophy, which I've been curating. My own particular course on introduction to AI, Hitchhiker's Guide to Artificial Intelligence, and then 2 courses that Chao Yan and Philip Joanna are putting together. One on performance-based design methodologies, and one on doctoral presentations themselves. So let me just skip out of that a second and show you the some of the PowerPoint. So this is going to happen the 2 weeks before. So just to repeat what I said earlier, last time we had panel discussions, workshops, everything all together at the same time, and it was difficult to go and to watch all of them. You couldn't do a workshop and go to all the panel discussions. This time we're bringing these forward, so they start the week after next. Saturday week we're going to start, and so they will be happening at the same time, at 10 o'clock in the morning to begin with on Saturday. Now let me just say that Slavoj Žižek is the rock star of contemporary philosophy. He's from Slovenia. I have been to conferences where, when he's been speaking, the whole auditorium has been absolutely packed out. People sitting on the steps, on the chandeliers, hanging from the chandeliers. He is the most famous person in the world when it comes to kind of as a public intellectual, as a philosopher. He's as famous as someone like Elon Musk. And Slavoj Žižek is also supremely entertaining. He is one of the most amazing speakers. So it's a great privilege to have Slavoj Žižek here. I would say that if you wanted to watch this, if you want to be part of the Zoom conversation, please sign up quickly, because once the philosophers find out about this, they will be signing up themselves. So Slavoj is going to be kicking off on the 12th of June with a lecture about reality as materialized ideology. If you just want to find out what he's like, just Google his name and see a video online. He has a very strange manner of operating, but his ideas are incredible. He's starting off. We followed, and the only person who could possibly follow Slavoj Žižek is Sanford Quinter himself. So he'll be the first of our speakers in the next group of lectures, which is about broadly architecture and philosophy. And this was put together as a result of a survey from various doctoral students on what their wish list of the best ever philosophers around the world and theorists. And so Sanford Quinter, followed by Manuel Delanda, who, well, Delanda, when I was teaching at Columbia, this was almost 20 years ago, I became a student again as well, went to Delanda's lectures. Unbelievable. He was the charismatic figure. He's been teaching all over the world, at Columbia, at Princeton, at Philadelphia, at USC, at the European Graduate School. And he is a rock star also in his own right. Manuel Delanda's book, 1,000 Years in Nonlinear History, is one of the all-time great books about urban growth patterns. The other thing I'd say about Manuel Delanda is that he is incredibly clear when he is speaking. I invited him to USC, University of Southern California, when I was teaching there, and all the Chinese students loved him because he was so clear they could understand exactly what he's saying. So it's a great delight to have Manuel as well. It's not easy to get him. Then we have Ana Maria Duran Callisto, who is, I think, one of the emerging rock stars of the world of theory. She is from Ecuador. She's an architect. She teaches at Yale University, and she is working on the Amazon. She's also running a workshop on the Amazon that hasn't been posted yet. That's going to be interesting in itself, connecting with the Amazonian tribes. A very straightforward workshop, not advanced in terms of computation, but supremely interesting. And it's great to include someone who is going to be who is clearly an emerging star as part of that. Next, we have Erin Manning, and she's not so well known among architects, but she is. She. I have a book here actually. The Politics of Touch. Erin Manning is recognized as one of the sharpest minds around. She's both a dancer and an artist, and one of the leading kind of theorists. I follow on from Erin Manning. I'm going to be talking about Elon Musk, and about his about the Neuralink connection. Then finally, in this series, we have Patrick Schumacher, who needs no introduction, shall we say? But all I would say is that most people don't realize that Patrick actually studied continental philosophy before he studied architecture. He is actually quite an important theorist in his own right. He's also been part of the Digital Futures community for some time. He's a PhD advisor as part of the Digital Futures International PhD program. So I'm delighted to have this lineup of individuals for this particular session. I wish I could have included more, but it's great to have these following on from Slavoj Žižek. And then just simply to say that I at a different time. So this is the standard time that we have at most of our sessions at 10 o'clock in the morning on the East Coast, 10 o'clock at night in China, 4 p.m. in the afternoon in Central Europe. There's going to be a second session on the same days, although it's a bit confusing because I'll be a day behind when I'm giving it. But in terms of America, and this is an introduction to AI. What's become very clear is that AI is the hottest topic out there at the moment. Everyone is incredibly interested in what AI is doing and its impact on architecture. And there's been a lot of experimentation going on. There are many workshops on AI, obviously within Inclusive Futures. But it's also, I think, from a theoretical point of view, incredibly interesting because it raises important questions, theoretical questions. What is consciousness? What can AI tell us about how the brain operates? And there's some absolutely fascinating discussions to be had about that. So this is a kind of a 6-lecture, or shall we say panel discussion session that is going to be introducing AI to architects. There are going to be 6 different sessions. The first one is, what is AI? And I know from my online that those of you who've been watching some of the Doctor of Design program videos at FIU, the session "What is AI" has had several thousand clicks so far. We're going to start with what is AI, then we're going to look at questions like AI and creativity, AI in neuroscience, AI in architectural design, AI in the office of the future, and finally something about the future of AI itself. And in these sessions, we're going to have some of the real stars of the field. Refik Anadol, who is a media artist based in LA, who has an incredible following. He will be joining us. Wan Yu He, who's in charge of X-School in Shenzhen, she will be also joining us. Theodos Galanos, who is also part of the FIU DDES, he'll be joining us. Theodore is part of the, he's been exploring, he's responsible for some of the applications like infrared, some of the environmental design AI programs. And then finally, Daniel Bolajan himself, who is, I think, to my mind, the leading person in terms of AI in architecture. I will say, I've speculatively invited Elon Musk. I don't think he's going to say yes, but we don't know. Maybe he'll turn up. So this is going to be a session on that's going on at a different time. So it's going to be at 9 o'clock in the morning in China, 9 o'clock at night in the East Coast, and it's going to be in the middle of the night in Central Europe, but we will record it so you'll be able to watch it afterwards. But, you know, Hitchhiker's Guide to Artificial Intelligence, let me just say that this is obviously based on the book, the movie, and the television series, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, which is the favorite book of Elon Musk. And he thinks it's a book of philosophy. So you probably know about that movie. And Elon Musk, I think, is kind of the central figure behind a lot of this because he uses AI not just for his Tesla cars, self-driving cars, also for the Neuralink project, and also in terms of SpaceX. Those of you who might have been watching the landings on Mars by both China and NASA in recent weeks will know that it's AI that brought down the allowed them to land on Mars, because the time lag between Earth and Mars takes too long, so it has to be autonomous. And AI is the game changer, not only in space but also in terms of architecture. So this is going to be an introduction to AI for architects around the world. A hitchhiker, so we say, is a hitchhiker is a kind of somebody who hitches a lift on something, maybe a hacker, someone from the outside. And I invite you to become a hitchhiker in this guide to artificial intelligence. Maybe I can then pass on to Philip to say a few words about the series of lectures that he's organizing on performance-based digital design method. Philip, are you there? Okay, maybe I'll say something myself. Again, I mean, this is actually...
I knew I'm back.
Okay,
Hi.
great. Do you want to get to it?
Sorry, I'm traveling, but I want to briefly introduce the consortium, PhD consortium, one of the courses named Performance-Based Digital Design Methodology. Actually, this is not the first year. Actually, we already taught this topic twice. This is third time we organized this special lecture series. We have some old friend. We collaborate in the past few years, not only for the research, but also in different workshops collaboration and some real project collaboration. In this course is probably first I have to make an introduction of the performance-based design, which will cross not only the structural performance-based design, but also the environmental performance design and behavioral performance simulation design. And the second time I would like to invite Archimangus to teach the performance-based design methodology, who actually put forward almost 10 years ago. And he would like to teach to tell us something about the fundamental theory of the performative tectonics, and at the same time he also would like to introduce several new projects they have done, not only in Germany but also in Venice, Bernanke as well. And the third lecture will be we will invite Philip Rock, and who is really good at some toolbox development, including Rhino mode. And he also would like to introduce his new research on the collaborate with Jaha as an example. And I think introduce some new progress of the Rhino mode.
如果你希望能用另一种语言和我交谈。
To teach the Rhino 2 as a new platform to simulate the performance, structural performance in the design process. I think that would be quite interesting of Philip Bloch's course. And Meta Thompson from CETA, she actually really good. And also, I think CETA play a very important roles in Europe, and they have different groups. And she actually want to teach theoretically of their design and framework, how they would like to teach their performance-based design in CETA. Areti is from IAC, and Neil have a long-term collaboration with IAC. I think Areti will also give us a fantastic lecture. Professor Mike Xie is here, and he also would like to teach his BESO, which is a very interesting topological structural performance formation toolbox, and also introduce the new research development, which is probably multi-material BSO structure performance-based design methodology, who is developing right now in his team. And Roland Snook is who is fantastic and have super good practice, and he also set up a new lab in his school. I think he will also give us interesting lecture. Mansot is fantastic, who is a student, used to study with Philip Bloch, but right now become professor in University of Pennsylvania. And she actually implement artificial intelligence, machine learning methodology into the 3D graphic statics formation and simulation. And I'm looking forward, he can give us a really interesting 3D graphic statics structural performance design method. And yes, that's probably the framework of the PhD courses. So every day we'll start from a lecture and followed by a discussion among the PhD candidate in this program. And also we would like to invite different people if they're interested or they're the experts on this special topic. We will also invite them to join us in discussion or panel discussion. So Neil, that is probably the brief introduction of the performance-based digital design methodology.
Yeah, thank you, Philip. I mean, maybe you don't know these figures, but they are the best in the world. I mean, what we're trying to do is to span the world to bring you these lectures by the best people in the world. So I mean, I'm just delighted by the lineup we have here. But what I would say is that you need to check the timing, and it's kind of complicated if you're doing a 24-hour clock, where they don't all start at the same time. So just make sure that you're aware of of the timing there. Finally, I'd also say that we initially asked people to make to send in a sample of writing and to make a statement. We were bombarded by applications, and so we removed that. We can't possibly read through all that. But so you can just simply line up for this. You can just simply sign up for this. And just to repeat, these are not connected with the workshops, so you can sign up for as many as you want, and it doesn't take up your choice in terms of workshops. So yeah, you won't have to fill in a registration form for the consortium. But this is a new initiative. We're going to build upon this. And the point about this at the Digital Consortium is very straightforward. We've now established that we can have this platform that can span the world, literally, and deliver educational ideas to everyone throughout the world. It now makes very little sense to have individual professors in individual classrooms talking to individual groups of students when we could all connect. And you know, I've in the past I've been trying to give lectures about some of the work, let's say Aki Menges's work, why not get Akim Menges himself to give a lecture about his work? So this is really truly a revolution, I think, in terms of education, of creating a single platform around the world that can spread these ideas for free. And that's part, I think, of our agenda about how do we democratize education, how do we bring the best ideas in the world, not just design ideas, not just workshop ideas, but also theory ideas. So please take a look at this. This is actually going to be an incredible event. To get Slavoj Žižek to come to Digital Futures is mind-blowing. To get Sanford Quinter, Manuel de Landa, and the rest of them, Akim Menges and Moran Snooks and Jelly Sabin and so on, is unbelievable. So you should really realize that these are the best in the world. Trust us, these are about as good as you can get. So they're going to be, just to make clear, that they're going to start on in 2 weeks' time. So Saturday, the 12th of June, we will kick off with Slavoj Žižek, the rock star himself, and we'll go on from there. But I invite you to take a look at that. It's going to be before the workshops themselves. So the 2 weeks before that, each day, 2 sessions a day. It's going to be a complete festival of this. So it's going to be amazing. So please make sure that you can sign up for this. This is a real opportunity. For the first time ever, you get access to all these rock star theorists. So I welcome you to come and join that. Please check out on the website and come and join us. Thank you.
Great. So as we're wrapping up here, for the students who are watching, we just wanted to go over how you actually apply to these things, because as you see, we have several amazing workshops and lectures to attend. So Chao is going to go over the application process and how you apply. Take it over, Chao.
Oh, thank you, Virginia. Okay, I think my internet is working now. So as you may already found out, we have been really building a new website, which is embedded with an application system. And through the system, the participants can register with a permanent account. So for the application process, after register and sign in on our website, you may check workshop information on our workshop page and make your selection. So this is a diagram showing how the application process will be going. So each participant can apply 3 workshops maximally, and later get 3 results from instructors. The result will be either being accepted or in a waiting list. And then you have to make a decision to accept one result from the 3. If you confirm the acceptance result from one instructor, you may just starting preparing and getting ready for the workshop. But if you want to stay in a waiting list for workshops, you need to wait for the second round from the instructor, and the result could be either accepted or rejected in the end. So that's the general process of the application. Let me go to next page. Okay, so regarding to the schedule, in order to give more exposure to those workshop instructors who has just uploaded on our website, after several rounds of discussion, we would like to extend the application deadline to June the 6th. So right now, almost all the workshops have been up there. You may make all of your 3 selections right now. And then after the application deadline, the instructors will start to review, and you will receive the results around June 12. Then you will have to make a decision. As I just said earlier, you have to choose one from the 3 results by June the 16th. And then if you are in a waiting list, your final application result will come around June 20, 1 week before the opening. So this is the update of the application schedule. and we will be open for any questions. If you could just send us email or send your questions to our social media. That's my report about the update of the application schedule and process. Thank you.
Chao, would you like to introduce in Chinese again of the working flow right now? Is that possible for you?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, let me go back. Okay, so now I will start in Pacific time zone in Chinese. 所以我们今年的这个报名
Before, Philip, do you want to maybe do that, because I think Chao's connection is not so good.
Yep, we've lost Chao.
Okay, I'm back. Okay. I'm really sorry. I really don't know what happened to my internet tonight. Can you see the screen?
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay. So I will just present the application process and schedule in Chinese. 所以我们今年的报名系统是在我们正在新建的一个网站所拥有的一个这个报名系统上。所以你今年来说，对于所有的这个工作营的学员，你需要先在我们的这个 DigitalFUTURES.world 这个网站上面去注册一个账户，然后注册完账户登录之后，你可以在我们的这个工作营的页面当中去选取3个工作营，然后去报名。当然在这个报名之后，你会在导师的评估你的材料之后呢，收到3个结果。这个结果呢，或者是被接收，或者是在一个这个待定的一个列表当中。但是对于这3个结果来说，每一个学员需要做一个最终的一个决断，是说你愿意去接受一个已经被录取的一个结果，或者说你愿意坚持在一个待定的一个列表当中。对于那些待定的学生来说呢，你就需要等待这个导师的第2次的一个评估或者是一个审阅。但是最终的结果可能会是一个被最终的录取，或者说可能是被拒绝。当然被拒绝的学生你可以去还是随时去跟踪我们的这些新闻，然后去在我们的网站当中去看到一些工作营的一些教学的一些直播，或者说你可以在明年来说再一次再来申请我们的这个工作营。对于整个这个报名的这个流程或者是时间表来说呢，因为我们在这2天还在不断的接受到一些导师在上传他们的这个工作营的信息，所以为了给这些工作营更多的一些时间去来录取学生，所以我们的组委会在经过了一系列讨论之后，目前决定将报名的截止时期推迟到6月6号。所以在这个时间之前，你还是都可以再去报名的，去选择你的这个3个工作营的这个报名的这个志愿。在6月6号之后，导师会开始去进行这个对你的这个报名材料的一个评估，然后你会在大约12号之前去接收到这个导师的录取结果。当然像我刚才说的，你会在你接收到结果之后呢，你需要去从这3个结果当中去选择其中一个。当然对于这个对于你确认要去进入到一个已经录取的工作营的学生，你就可以开始准备你的这个工作营的学习了。但是对于如果你要坚持在一个待定的列表当中的这个学生的话，你就需要再去等待第2次这个录取结果。这个录取结果大概会在6月20号左右，也就是开营之前的1周之前的大概这个时间会发送到你的这个系统当中，所以你要随时去关注你的网站的这个账户系统。大概是这么一个情况。
Great, thank you, Chao.
Thank you.
I'm going to go over the actual process of how to apply, and maybe Chao can also translate after I mention it. But first, you need to obviously go to our website here. And you can find, I'll go over how to apply for the Digital Consortium first, which is here, lectures. And what you find that list that Philip and Neil had shown before. And what you see to apply is that there's an application form here, and it is just a Google form. There are separate Google forms for each of the events because you are not required to attend all of them, and perhaps you want to attend some of the different ones. So all you need to fill out based on the ones that you want to attend is your email, your name, your first name and your family name, your gender and your nationality. And this won't be like shared with anyone. It's just really for us to kind of assess the diversity in the event. And then we do want to know what university you are attending, or if you are currently in a PhD program or a PhD student, or if you're applying to PhDs, or if you're not interested in PhD at all, it's okay. And then just a few of your interests and topics, which maybe help us understand how you are interested in, or why you are interested in applying to attend some of these lectures and events for the doctoral symposium. So it's very easy to apply. You don't have to log into our website or anything for that. It's just a Google form. And then next, when you want to apply to the workshops, I know everyone is very excited. The date was originally on May 31st, but due to demand, as Neil and Chao have mentioned, it is going to be extended 1 week. So we will have one until June 6th to apply for one more week.
7th, June 7th.
7th, sorry. I couldn't open my calendar fast enough. And so when you're browsing all of the workshops, you'll see that when you are not signed in, you cannot apply. It's going to tell you to register first. So I can't apply until I've signed in. So you need to go to the top right here and click sign in. And then you will need to add your email address and password. But if you are a new user, you need to go to register before you can do that. So you click the register button. And if you are signing in as a student, please select a participant here, not instructor, because you're not an instructor and you need a secret code for that has been given to our invited instructors. But when you select participant, you can fill in your information, and I will not do that at this time, but you want to make sure you fill this all in and submit. And just the verification code here is the kind of CAPTCHA code here that you need to do. I'm going to go back because I already have an account that I'm going to show you, and I will type in the verification code quickly and click sign in. So I've already made my account. But when you make your account, before you still can apply to workshops, I know we're all very excited to apply to workshops, you do need to fill out your information. So you can see here, I've uploaded my photo, my information about who I am, and you need to upload a few samples of your work within this page here. So that is very important that you do that before you apply to workshops, because it will not let you apply to them before you've done that. Then you can go to the workshop page and browse all of the workshops, because this is where you will have the opportunity to apply. And now you see both the apply button and the live stream button. So this also goes for students who would like to just watch the live streams and audit our workshops via live streaming. You do want to log into our system to create an account to be able to get those links and check with the schedule and watch those live streams. We aren't going to be giving you any certificates for watching those live streams, because we cannot track how many you've watched, but we do want to just be able to have it available. But when you're ready to apply, you just click apply, And there is a warning message here. So everyone, please make note that applications cannot be changed once they have been made. And this is because as soon as you press confirm apply, it's going to really quickly send that information directly to the workshop instructor and going to their account. So you cannot undo that once you have. So I'm going to cancel this because I don't want to apply to this workshop. But once you have applied to a workshop, and you are waiting for your results, you go back in the top right to my page and you will see my workshops. And this is where you can see I've actually applied previously to my own workshop because I would like to participate in my own workshop here, the digital knitting structures. And you see it says that I've applied to this workshop. Well, this workshop, we haven't listed the reports yet. Of who's gotten in or who hasn't. So you have to check back later in early June to find out your results. But as Chao mentioned, it will show you whether you've been accepted or waitlisted for that workshop. And so please continue to check back at this page. And after all the workshops are complete, this is also the same page where you will receive your certificate for participating in your workshop, which will be a nice document with your name and the workshop you attended that you can put in your resumes or portfolios to show that you participated in this workshop. So please become very familiar with the My page on our website and upload your information on your page and apply to 3 workshops so that you have a chance to get into them, because some of them might be very competitive and some of them, like the theory workshops, which are larger audience, may be able to accept you more easily than some of these smaller workshops. So be strategic when applying, take your time when deciding which workshops to apply to, because you can't undo it once you've applied. So please take your time and enjoy. And if there are any questions, we can answer them if you contact our Instagram or our other social media. We are here to answer questions.
So maybe if there are any questions, please send them to the Willy Willy or YouTube, the YouTube chat, and we can answer them now. If not, we will do our best to answer them over the course of the next few weeks. Maybe I could just, as we wrap up, maybe I could just emphasize the important points that were made today. Firstly, we have extended the deadline for applications for the workshop by 1 week until the 7th of June. That's because we still have workshops that are coming online. I would encourage you to keep watching. I know that there's a workshop about Amazonia that's going to appear there very soon. We also have a Sidewalk Lab, which is a very inspirational AI-based company that is now producing environmentally friendly solutions for cities, which is exactly part of our agenda in terms of trying to embrace all these other social issues beyond the technological. I would encourage you to look out for that, and so on. The second important thing is to say that to emphasize the lectures that start on the 12th of June. In other words, in 2 weeks' time, we will begin with this extraordinary lineup of lectures. It's absolutely astonishing. I really, as a theorist, all I could say is I mean, I've never seen this before. So please sign up for that if you're interested, and before everyone else does, because there'll be. I'm sure that Slavoj Žižek will be completely sold out. With he's a rock star in China in the philosophy circles anyway. So please sign up for that, and you can do that in addition to the workshops. So you only have a chance to apply, and you can apply for 3 workshops. But for the lectures, you can go to all of them. So I'm very excited by this. I'm very excited by what we've made available. We see this as part of really a revolution in education, trying to democratize education, make ideas available for free for people around the world. And I'm delighted that this year that we've managed to not only bring on board a number of regional managers, and just to go and run through, I'll probably forget the names of some of them, but to say that Ahmed is in charge of Africa. This is absolutely central to the notion of inclusive futures, that we are able to engage with Africa, a concept that's often been overlooked, but we are engaging with that very positively. We have a number of workshops going on in Africa and going on in the Arabic language, and that's also important for us as well. I also want to kind of welcome Maria Kopsova, who has been in charge of especially of Eastern Europe and especially Russia, which I think is an astonishingly new area, astonishingly vibrant new area. As a student, I was brought up studying the Russian constructivists. I mean, same at the Architectural Association. Zaha studied those things, and coming out of Russia now, we have some amazing new workshops as well. I'm delighted that Aya Riyad has been able to join us and look after the Middle East. I'm particularly delighted to see that we have workshops going on in Farsi, which is amazing, especially because in Iran right now, it's almost impossible to travel. You can't afford to go and study elsewhere. So we want to make these ideas available for everyone around the world. I want to thank Antonio, who's also joined our team, who is looking after Europe. He's from Italy himself. He's now teaching in Denmark, and we have a whole range of new people involved there. Marina Rodriguez das Neves is looking after South America, where we have workshops importantly in Spanish and Portuguese. That's really important. We're going to be adding a few workshops in the next few days for there as well. It's great to have Marina involved, and I want to say what a privilege it is to have her in our theory workshop with Sanford and Victoria. Nick Bao has been looking after Australia for us, and the rest of Asia. There are some workshops going on in Indonesian for the first time ever. That's also a new development. And Chao has also been looking after China. Gustavo has been looking after the west coast of America, which is where I'm based now, and we have some terrific workshops. So please look out for those. And Virginia looking after the east coast of the States. Having left anyone out? I think that's the whole team. I think, but I'm just delighted that we can. And Ahmed, of course, Ahmed. So I'm delighted that we're able to be more inclusive, to include places like Africa, to bring this as part on board, and also to be working in so many different languages. This is really a positive development. So this what we're trying to do this year is to take things one step further, to make the whole Digital Futures project more inclusive, to make it available for free to more people around the world. So please, could you spread the message to all your colleagues and friends? We have just 1 week before you have to sign up, but I think I would just say that I'm astonished by the range of workshops. I want to thank all the workshop instructors who have volunteered to give their time to do this, and this is important. Everyone is doing this for free. You know, we believe in this, and we're doing this as volunteers, and it's such an incredible gesture of solidarity to have all these talented individuals producing these workshops, and I'm delighted for that. I'm delighted also that we've got such an incredible lineup of lectures. I don't know if we have anything else that we can say, but we want to change the world. We want to change education. You know, we want to democratize things. We want to open things up for people throughout the world. Education, in our view, shouldn't be a privilege of the elite, of those who are wealthy. It should be a human right. We're trying to extend educational ideas throughout the world. So please come and join us. Gracias, grazie, merci. I'm trying to think of the words. Spasibo. So thank you to all our presenters today. Is there any final word you'd like to make, Philip, before we close down? Okay. Anyone of Philip? Yes.
I'm coming back. Thanks a lot to all the participants and organizers. I think it's a great event. It's kickoff. Probably this year I'm a little bit busy, and Chao play a very important role to set up the organization process. So in the next 2 weeks, I think we'll very compact organize, packing up everything and push it a little bit in a very short time. We have a very good experience in organizing such event. This year, the challenge is which changed to be a global event. So I think it will be good to organize by team, and especially in your time zone, and you can organize special announcement or meeting in different time, not maybe same time. Probably this time right now in China it's already middle night, early morning, but maybe we can organize certain kind of announcement in the normal time in different time zones. Different promotion will be helpful, we appreciate for all the organizers. I think that is needed. And the most important I want to say is the quality of the workshops is the most important. So probably we should invite the best people teaching in our workshops. At the same time, the schedule and all the plan should be very carefully set up, and also including the Zoom platform and how to tell our applicants, our future students, they can follow the schedule. That is really should be detailed all the process. That's not easy, because this is not one workshop, that is several workshops parallel going in your time zone. So I think it will be very important to very detailedly plan everything. And after the application process, I think we should set up the workshops menu again, because maybe some of them will be welcome, will be attract a lot of people, but maybe some of them could not be exist because maybe few people follow them. So after that, we'll make sure how many workshops we have this year on this platform. I think the most important is not the quantities of the workshops, but the quality of the workshops, firstly. And secondly, I think we should give the best experience to all the participants, all the future students on this platform. Most important is to transfer the new information and new knowledge through this platform, on this platform, and by this platform. So I think more and more young generation play more important roles in the future, but still we need to remember we're collaborating with the best designers and advisors in the world. So I think the most important figures we should especially give more introduction of their workshops on this platform. And good luck to everyone, and thanks a lot to all your work. We're looking forward for the great event this year. So let's keep in touch and update more details and more announcements in the next weeks. See you soon. Neil, would you like to say something?
Yes, just a final comment. I mean, to echo Philip's point, what we're going for this year, I think, is both quantity and quality. I mean, we have got some of the best possible people that I can think of in the world, and this allows for somebody. I mean, I spoke once I went with Ahmed once to some of his students in Egypt, you know, and it's wonderful to get this feedback from the students in Egypt saying, you know, it's so nice to have these things made available. And frankly, for us, it's nice to know that that's been appreciated. We have been around and we've invited what we think are the best in the world. We've got workshops from Zahadid Architects. We've got workshops with Aki Menges, with Philippe Bloch, with Roland Snooks, and so on. I mean, they're really an incredible lineup of workshops. And we've got a lineup of lectures from the very best in the world. I mean, I never imagined that we'd ever see this, you know, a platform where we can bring the very best of the world to everyone, wherever you are. So I'm absolutely delighted with what's happening. I want to thank the team, and there's so much work that's going on. You probably don't realize it's like an iceberg. You can see a little bit at the top, but there's a lot of work beneath that. And thank you to all the team for incredible generosity in making these things available. Next week, I should say that we return to the Venice Biennale. We've got Claudia Pasquero, who is wonderful. And she's going to be talking about some of the work going on in the Venice Biennale, which will be amazing. And then the following week, we start. We start with Slavoj Žižek, and from then on, you will be bombarded with the most incredible list of lectures over the next 2 weeks, unbelievably. And then we hit the workshop itself, the workshops themselves, and it's going to be an incredible time. So, I just thank you, everybody. Come back next week for Claudia Pasquero, and then come for Slavoj Žižek, and come for Sanford Quinta, for Roland Snooks, for all this incredible lineup of people, Peter Thompson and so on. It's going to be amazing. So thank you again for all the people who are going to be running workshops, and thank you for the organizational team. And come next week, and come. More importantly, come and join us for the lectures and the workshops over the next few weeks. It's going to be a festival, the like of which we've never seen in the world before. It is breaking new ground, and it's helping to democratize education and make these educational ideas available for free for everyone around the world. I think that's a wonderful thing in itself. So thank you.
Okay, Neil, I want to add something. I think today I audit the whole process. I think Gustavo, I think you make a really good presentation to showing the logic of the time zone and also the workshops list. The other time zones, I think probably I suggest for them, how it's better to make another announcement, a menu which should be easily for the people in Asia to make the selections. I think the list is needed. How to present the workshop to the applicants I think is kind of artwork because it's too many. It's better to set up a special logic and special ways to attract people reading into the details, reading into the introductions of all the workshops. That need patient. Although you yourself understand very well, but probably as a user, how to understand the logic and how to understand the process, how to apply different workshops. We need some very, very detailed works. So I suggest probably not a normal time right now in Asia and in different time zones, but also maybe probably I suggest we can organize different announcement in different time zones on this platform. That will be helpful to make further more compact introduction and promotion to different time zones. Probably I think that will be needed, Neil. I don't know if you agree on that.
It's all on the website. I mean, all the times are all comprehensively listed there, and it is available. If it's just a question of looking for them, and of course, all the workshops.
Yeah, that's the first thing. I think people need to go to this website and then make decision. Secondly, I think the important figures around the world is needed because they play the leadership in this special research field and special topic. I think still we need different important figures, important expertise who can help us to make promotion. I think that probably need one by one email or connection to the important professors and designers, and who can help us to make promotion in different platforms. I think that will be extremely helpful. And also it will be appreciated to all the audience today if you can help us to spreading out all these connections and our website and our introduction of different workshops will be helpful to this platform. So I think that should be multi ways help us to attract people to this special event. Okay, thank you. I think
thanks for
yeah, a lot of work. Still
we should try and wrap up now, but this is, I mean, absolutely, please spread the word. We've got 1 week, we've had thousands of applications already, we've been inundated. Let's get some more. We want to make these ideas out there available for everyone throughout the world. So please spread the word, spread the message. And there's 1 week now until the 7th of June well, actually 9 days, to sign up for these workshops and to sign up for the lectures. So thank you, everyone. And we'll see you next week for the session from the Venice Biennale with Claudia Pasquero. And then the following week, we'll be kicking off the whole of our events with this very special inaugural lecture by Slavoj Žižek. So we look forward to welcoming you to that. So thank you very much, everybody. Thank you for the team. Thank you for the instructors. And thank you for all the students for signing up. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Hello.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Do widzenia.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
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 Hasta luego.
Thank you. До свидания всем.